Okay, folks, you be the judge. Like always, I just present the observable proofs, and you decide what you see, and what it shows and what it proves. All right, here we go.
All right, I'm up here on the deck on a low tide. And I've been up here before on a low tide. I couldn't even see those three islands out there. Oh, I have to find some footage to show this, but here we go. There's three islands. We'll go to the middle one. It's less mirroring to the north than there is to the south.
Okay, this was actually some footage that I did after I had taken a life preserver and put up in these trees on this island. It's actually mangroves. Um, and you can see it right here. And I already did a video about it. So if you look back in my files, you can see this. But also, you notice how um, beyond the visible water line, how the sky is just illuminated. Again, this is like that blind that I said, it drops down. Now, of course, too, if you set your camera settings up real high, yeah, you will also get this whiteout appearance or effect. Um, but this was actually a much brighter day where I was getting, some full sunshine coming across the sky. I don't believe there was a lot of clouds in the sky at all. Um, but the camera ISO or the compensation exposure was probably turned up a little bit higher. But obviously, you can see this mirroring effect occurring on the edges of these islands, and this is part of the effect. But obviously, too, you can see the channel marker there reflecting at the bottom. I should have mentioned that a little quicker. So you can pay attention, but you can always go back and look at that. But you can also see the mirroring going on here, even with the bird in the water way out there. And it looks like the bird's floating in the air, but it is, in fact, not. It is in the water. That water's just mirroring. Now, some people would say it's due to the angle of my camera, but I also have a different opinion on that. Now, I sped this up real quick. I go past a bunch of these channel markers because what I wanted to do is get to um, the Chassahowiska channel marker. And the Chassahowiska from Pine Island is approximately 7.17 statute miles. Now, I could be off a little bit. I'm working with a navigation map that I really can't pinpoint exactly where I'm standing at Pine Island. But I actually could be a little bit further away. And like I said, I put this 10 times faster. Yeah, and I'm sorry I didn't put any transitions in between the speeding up and then the slowing down, so I don't know how that'll affect the video, but I'm not going to go back and try to add them in because it just messes up my audio. Of course, here I'm a little out of focus, but you'll see me focus it in here shortly. You get a much better focus on it. But, my main thing was to compare this to another bit of footage that I got on 11/27. Darn it, I can't remember when I took this other footage, but it was still in the same month. It was still in uh, November 2019, so it was just before Christmas, Thanksgiving, just after Thanksgiving. I want to correct myself. The first part was from December 6th. This part is from November 27th. Of course, here you obviously see that I'm at a much lower perspective. I'm not on top of the observation deck. I'm actually down below the deck, just above the seawall at 28 inches. And of course, you can see that, it is a low tide, but I don't think it's as low as it was on that day. And even in my screen here with my cell phone, you can obviously see land going well beyond it. And that was the very first picture of the video. At the beginning of the video was a picture of this land. Now, of course, you can see that it's distorted, but it is visibility. This particular day, I had a much clearer um, day. I mean, as far as clearness, but you also see that I do have a little bit more distortion. But here's the thing that everybody's claiming that there's this distortion that is this magical force that's pulling everything up, but I actually disagree with that. I think it's more like when we get this mirroring effect, it literally does cut things off. You can see the edge of that island in there, but we're going to go into some real footage here shortly and show you the real stuff. All right, obviously, right off the bat, I do have my compensation turned down a little bit, but then I turn it up a little bit. But I do have, obviously, some more clouds in the sky. But there's still a haze that's going well beyond this, and it still creates this blind that blocks off, more that could possibly be back there. But at the angular resolution that I am to these distant islands, it is very hard to pick them up, especially on a day where there is mirroring. And this day is obviously a much better day of visibility because you can obviously see this land well beyond it. Now, I do believe it was on the 30th of either November or December. I'll let you know because I got the video loaded in here. I'm going to probably just throw in a little chunk of it and show you that, where I took a boat ride up there. Like I said, actually, it was before this. I took a boat ride up there to put that life preserver up in them trees, and I took some video while I was up there that you can see this land that's well beyond. Some people would say, well, this is a black swan. Well, actually, no, it isn't, because I've caught it several times after this, and I think one time before this. But it's obviously when I get these good days of visibility where I can see this land. A lot less haze above the water, but again, I'm getting some distortion. And I'm also getting a lot less mirroring too, in a sense, how I see this horizon change and react. I'm going to step this up right here and speed it up 2 times to a certain point. Okay, here I sped it up 2 times. I kind of wanted to get to the end. I wanted to make this a little bit shorter of a video. But like always, I make them too long, and if people don't watch them, nobody even pays attention to it. But, I try to do my best. And again, here's this channel marker up there. You'll see it in one of the videos. I'll just put the little short one up showing this land and these islands up at a little closer perspective. And you can also see that on a different angle, because I am going to be looking at a different angle from my boat perspective at the Crystal River Power Plant. Again, you can see that these islands do appear to be much smaller when even zoomed in at full zoom compared to some of the other days that I filmed them. They look much bigger as far as height wise, And I even had a video that I put out. Again, it didn't get many views, where it was an extreme low tide. I went way out in front of the observation deck, set my camera up, and I even had a much clearer view of this. But again, I could not see the islands back there due to what I think was a little bit of mirroring, and also due to the fact that really the magnification actually, in my opinion, it pulls things down also in a sense, because it magnifies what's more visible in front of you bigger, so it blocks out stuff that's actually further beyond. Again, you can see some of these islands right here are usually obscured with the mirroring effect, especially when I look back up in some of these bays. Now I'm fixing to slow it down right here and show you the Crystal River power plant stack. Again, from the angle that I'm at, I'm not really getting a good view of this. And also, I kind of have a feeling that at this distance, that tower is actually getting magnified. I don't know, if it's because of the difference in temperature further up in Crystal River compared to the temperature here. But like I said, there can be a 10-degree variance in our temperatures from Crystal River power plant down here in Hernando County. Same way in the opposite direction, going south of me, there could be a 10-degree difference easily going south toward the Hudson Beach condominiums. Plus two, I don't see the smaller stack back here because of the trees. And again, it was my angle. Was kind of getting blocked out by some of the trees. All right, I'm gonna put in this other little part of the video when I was up there in my boat, and show you a little view of the land that is actually up there. That it's up there. I think people, when I first mentioned this, thought I was bullshitting, but okay, again, I'm sorry, folks. I did mean to cut this video a little bit shorter, but I have to show this. Again, this was from my B700 camera, standing up in my boat, videotaping out here further to the north of these islands that I've been filming. And obviously, you can see that there is land beyond these islands, and this is what I'm picking up. And again, I'm picking it up mainly because it is a clear, visible day. So I was able to catch all this stuff. Even here, you can kind of see the towers. And let me tell you, that right there, those towers, in my opinion, are stretched, because that big cooler tower is not that high. It's either being magnified or something, because again, I don't believe that thing is quite that tall compared to the other towers. I could be wrong. I used to have some footage from when I went up there one day and took some video of it from on top of a bridge. And I wish I still had that footage to compare to. Again, it was on my 1 terabyte, or my one hard drive that crashed on me. So again, I lost a lot of important footage. But again, here, I'm just kind of skimming across here. Here's the, channel markers that I filmed from Pine Island up here. It's kind of crazy, and this land keeps going well beyond these islands. Again, I'm at a different angle, but you can see that these islands and this land is there. All right, well, that's you can call it a black swan if you want, but again, from this distance, these islands are like 4 or 5 miles away, and that other land is well beyond it. And from my height, again, I should not be able to see it if Earth was a globe. Plain and simple. Like it or not, globies, that's truth.